great to have all of you with us, and you'll turn inside your packet then, and we'll start with the first book, which is called The Ideal Team Player, and this is by Patrick Lencioni, who we have done many books of his over the years. Obviously, the one that is the most famous, and you will still see on some bestseller lists today, is The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. That is often used in many professional development programs and well cited in the team literature. He also did books like The Advantage, and actually my favorite book that he did was called Death by Meeting, because it was too real. It was really an insightful book on something that was kind of irritating to see in front of your face. But on page 2 of your handout, I reproduced a bio for you about him if you don't know much about him. But he has really been one of the top authors and speakers for over a decade on these things that are very much professionally oriented. The Ideal Team Player, like most of his books, y'all begins with a fable. And the fable runs about 1/2 or so of the book. I have summarized this fable for you. It's also on page 2. And of course, what he does in the fable is he has characters which illustrate the different kinds of principles and styles of team players that he talks about in the book. Back on page 3, these are the 3 virtues of an ideal team player. And this is humility and hunger and smartness. And I want to develop these for you a little bit just to describe what those characteristics are. And of course, y'all, that is how you fool somebody you read the book, is to know those 3 virtues. If somebody asks you, what's an ideal team player? Your answer is, it's a person who's humble, hungry, and smart. You got that? Good. That's what you do. You fool somebody you read the book. Humility, he says, is the single greatest and most indispensable attribute of being a team player. And who lacks it? Overly arrogant people who make everything about them, and those who lack self-confidence but are generous and positive with others. No names there, okay? But there are people who lack humility. Being hungry. Hungry people almost never have to be pushed by a manager to work harder because they are self-motivated and diligent. It's healthy. He says it's a manageable and sustainable commitment to doing a job well and going above and beyond whatever is necessary. So always looking for the next thing to do. Never satisfied with just doing the job. It's an innate hunger that goes along with really finding additional things that can make a team or an organization prosper. And then smart is going beyond emotional intelligence. It refers to a person's common sense about people. And if you see the quote here, smart people have good judgment and intuition about group dynamics. As a result, they don't say and do things or fail to say and do things without knowing the likely responses of their colleagues. So he says all of these are important virtues. I'm reluctant to present them in any way that would suggest that I believe they are novel or new. What makes humble, hungry, and smart powerful and unique is not the individual attributes themselves, but rather the required combination of all 3. If even one is missing in a team member, teamwork becomes significantly more difficult and sometimes not possible. So it's a very practical book, one that is different, and it's been on all of the business bestseller lists. The other day I looked, it's number 5 on the Wall Street Journal list. It was number 7 on the New York Times list, and as popular as he is, it ought to be on the list for quite a while. Whoever wins this, I think you'll enjoy that book and many of the characteristics of it. I hope you enjoyed the synopsis of The Ideal Team Player.